Hey guys, so it is currently 5 a.m. and we are going to make a video on Dragon Ball Legends because some information has just dropped here regarding a dev newsletter. We did get the sort of previews here for GT Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Majin, who are coming out in less than 24 hours from this video going live, so pretty exciting. Let's go check out this dev newsletter. So they initially posted this on Twitter, but it is also in-game as well, so I'm actually going to pull it up within Dragon Ball Legends DBZ space here. So I have not read the letter yet. We're going to be experiencing this together for the very first time, so let's go ahead and take a look at what they have here. So, Legends Management Team Newsletter Volume 3. Thank you for your continued support of Dragon Ball Legends. Before we even jump in, by the way, I'm actually really glad they're doing this newsletter thing, because I think the last newsletter we got was like literally a year ago. They definitely should be doing more of these. The communication is very, very important. But that's, I'm glad to see that it's back here. So today we have some additional information about the future updates introduced in July's video and stuff. So the Legends Pass, this was the sort of monthly subscription feature that they talked about during the video and stuff. The Legends Pass is planned to be implemented in late August 2021, so about, I guess, a month from now. The Legends Pass is a paid-for subscription service that renews automatically on a monthly basis. It remains valid for 1 month after the latest payment. If the subscription is not canceled at least 2 days before the end of the valid period, it'll be automatically renewed, okay? So the perks, they already mentioned the perks in the video, but just to recap, Prime Ticket Printing Robot, we still don't know what this is. I don't know what a Prime Ticket is, but we'll figure it out. 400 equipment slots, 5 preset slots, that's just for teams. Faster Auto Mode, 1 extra login bonus selection, and then 2 extra adventure slots. So the 400 equipment slots, of the many perks offered by the Legends Pass, this is one that caused some confusion. But we would like to assure you that if you cancel your Legends Pass subscription, your gameplay experience will not be negatively affected. First, standard equipment slots are different than the additional equipment slots being added by the Legends Pass. If you have no open standard slots, newly acquired equipment will be stored in the additional slots. If the Legends Pass is canceled, any equipment stored in these additional slots will become unusable. So, however, they can become usable again either by removing them from the additional slots to the standard slots or by selling other equipment. If the number of equipment in standard slots is over the maximum, you will not be able to enter battles, but as long as you are under the maximum, you will be able to enter battles even if you have equipment stored in additional slots. Please rest assured that should you end your Legends Pass subscription, the additional equipment slots will cause no issues, with the only downside being the loss of the perks offered by the service. Please expect details on the other features that come with the Legends Pass when it is launched. So that's good from what I'm getting from this, because the biggest concern that I had, at least initially upon reading what the different perks were going to be with the equipment specifically, if you got the extra slots and you ended your subscription, you wouldn't be able to play the game unless you sold off all the equipment that you gained, because generally what happens is if you are over the cap on equipment, the game doesn't let you play unless you free up some slots. But because this is a different, I guess, entire system than the current equipment slots, even if your pass runs out and you're over the cap on that, or you have equipment in there, like the separate slots, it's not going to prevent you from playing the game. So that actually is a big deal, which is very good. I still don't know how much I like locking things like faster auto mode behind the subscription. I would prefer that just be in the game for free, because it should be. But for specifically this equipment slot perk, that definitely is a major thing to consider, right? It's definitely way better than I thought it was going to be. Okay, here we go. This might be the biggest thing in here. PvP features. We are planning improvements and new features for PvP at the end of 2021. So we got a while to go. We got like 4/5 months here. The management and development teams are both working to make PvP a more enjoyable experience for everyone. Below is an explanation of part of our strategy. List of features. Boost characters. We heard about that a little bit in the video and stuff. Leader slots. We did not hear about this during the video and stuff. Improvement of ranking system. Okay, generally sounds pretty good. Boost characters, provisional. So always subject to change depending on the, I guess, reception by the player base. To increase the usage of underplayed characters PvP and new characters who have not been limit broken, we are currently developing a boost feature similar to the Tournament of Power Modes tier system. We plan to change the affected characters regularly, where similarly to the Tournament of Power, the least used characters get the strongest boosts, while maintaining a slot available for new characters. One way in which this will differ from the Tournament of Power mode is that characters who receive a boost in PvP will have their abilities enhanced in rating matches for the duration of the season. This way, the most used characters will constantly be changing, and everyone can expect to enjoy competing in PvP with a wide variety of different teams. To ensure that the boost feature's main aim of strengthening characters that aren't used much or have not been limit broken many times does not spoil the overall balance of Legends, we plan to continue making fine adjustments to the system after its implementation. We would be very grateful for you to continue to share your valuable opinions with us. So, this is mainly talking about old characters. Toshi mentioned during the video and stuff that this would also be affecting new characters as well. Yeah, right here, new characters who have not been limit broken. Interesting. So it specifically says who have not been limit broken, so I'm wondering if the boost will sort of taper off on new characters if they have high stars, which would kind of be counterintuitive, because if the unit is going to be getting less of a boost at higher stars, wouldn't you not want to summon for dupes? It's a difficult thing to really implement for them. I mean, just from a developer standpoint, right? You want people to summon. That's your goal as a developer of one of these games, right? But if you're tapering the buffs and you're sort of giving diminishing returns on the boosts that these units are going to be getting depending on the amount of stars or limit breaks that they have, in my mind, at least, looking at what this is saying right here, it would discourage people from summoning for those units if they're going to be worse, right? Now, once the boost is over, they'll be better, right? Because they're not going to be boosted forever. So once the boost period for those new units are over, yeah, the limit broken units are going to be way stronger. But initially, you're going to get a boost for a less limit broken unit. Why would you summon? But again, I'm going to reserve judgment on this entire system until we actually get this in game, so that I can see it and experience it firsthand. I don't want to, prematurely judge this too harshly, but again, the main concern that I have with PvP right now is the extreme lack of diversity in teams. I fight hybrids like 80% of the time. So for me, that's the biggest turnoff for PvP. It burns me out very fast playing the same team over and over again. Not even just the same team, but the same units over and over again. So if they can find a way that's effective in promoting diversity in the teams that I'm fighting against, that's perfect. So here we go with leader slots. Okay. Z abilities, which are at the heart of Legends party formation, have had to be carefully considered in conjunction with tags and elements when forming a party. However, this has also led to characters with certain tags being difficult to use for certain players. There's certain characters that don't have that many tags to be used on. To expand party building options and to make more characters easy to use, we are currently planning a leader slot. Okay. The character placed in the leader slot of which there is one per party will receive the following perks. They will receive the benefits of all party members' Z abilities that specify certain tags or episodes, regardless of whether or not they meet those requirements. This does not apply to Z abilities or Zenkai abilities that specify certain elements, characters, and so on. So hold on. Let me read that again, because I want to make sure I'm understanding this. The character placed in the leader slot, of which they said there was one of, will receive the following perks. They will receive, so the leader will receive, the benefits of all party members' Z abilities that specify certain tags or episodes, regardless of whether or not they meet those requirements. So let's just say you put the new LF full power Frieza in the leader slot. If you put a unit on your team, let's just, for an example, I don't know, we'll say Yellow Hit. Yellow Hit buffs yellow. Actually, that's not a good example because he buffs Frieza. So, I don't know. Let's just pull up let me just open this again. So, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, right, does not buff the new LF full power Frieza with his Z ability. But if you put full power Frieza in your leader slot, he would be receiving this Z ability, is what I'm understanding from this newsletter here. Second bullet point, their own Z ability that specifies certain tags or episodes will apply to all other party members where it ordinarily would not. So, vice versa, the same thing applies to Gogeta, right? The Frieza Z ability would also apply to Gogeta. So, I guess they're sort of, the way I would look at this is this leader slot is sort of like a wild card. You'll be able to affect the entire team with this slot, and the entire team will be able to affect this slot with their Z ability. I guess it doesn't mention Zenkai abilities. I I mean, I mentioned Zenkai abilities in here. I assume it would not work for Zenkai abilities. This feature will create new possibilities for viable teams, such as adding Goku to parties based around a powerful opponent, or Frieza to tag Saiyan parties. Another aim of this is for users who are still new to the game to be able to get the most out of their new characters' abilities by putting them in the leader slot. In tandem with the improvement to the ranking system detailed below, we hope that this will make PvP more accessible. Furthermore, the leader slot will not influence the effects of unique abilities or equipment, and as such, there will be no change to unique abilities that specify tags or episodes, sorry. In addition, leader slots perks will not apply to Zenkai. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Zenkai Awakening characters. However, so that Zenkai Awakening does not put you at a disadvantage, we plan to add a feature that will allow you to deactivate and switch between Zenkai Awakening at the time of the leader slot. Interesting. So you could un-Zenkai a character if you want to. That's interesting. Okay, interesting. I mean, again, I don't really know how I feel about it. I think it's probably just a good thing, right? You're just adding a way to make team building easier for newer players. The thing that I am worried about with this is you're just going to be able to buff OP characters even more. Like, imagine like Gohan getting buffed by like a unit that should not normally be buffing him, right? I mean, it's just, we'll see how it works. Okay, finally we have ranking improvements. Development is underway for several improvements to rating matches and battle rank, such as better matchmaking at the start of seasons, the handling of unfair play, rewards for PvP users who rank outside of the top 20,000, and more. We are currently in the planning stage for these features that will be added at the end of the year and beyond, so please look forward to them. We will notify you with further details about these features when we are close to their implementation, and we appreciate your patience. It's not really very specific, but I will take improvements to PvP, right? I mean, matchmaking, definitely. I've always noticed, in fact, the video I put out yesterday with the pool, that was the first day of the season, getting teams with like full B equipment at like 2-star with like no synergy at all. They had like sub 1000% ability bonus on their team. Like, it's not fair for like someone like me to be playing somebody like that who's obviously very new to the game. So that's good if they can improve matchmaking like that. Easier way to identify cheaters so they can get banned. That's also very good. And obviously rewards. So all sounds good to me, but it's very general without very many specifics being given. So can't really judge it too harshly right now. Other improvements to make your Legends experience a more enjoyable one, whether you are aiming to be the best in the world or just play casually. We are currently making adjustments to the game in all areas. Here are a few of them. Addition of a rematch option for co-op when playing with a guild member or friend. That's big. Finally, that's something we've been asking for a very, very long time. And I think you guys might not know this, but the main reason why I think they probably were very cautious about adding that is because it makes it very easy to bot. Use an auto clicker or bot the mode. If there was a rematch feature, you could have 2 accounts, you could have bots running on both accounts, and then you could just continuously farm the event infinitely, essentially, with those 2 bots running with those 2 accounts if there's a rematch feature. So I think maybe the fact that they're talking about handling unfair play is going to make them able to more easily identify people who are using bots and stuff like that, so that they're now more comfortable adding this because they can figure out who's doing that and ban them. Changes to equipment upgrades. That's very base. That's very general. What about re-rolling the first slot? That would be cool. Shortening of all connection and load times. Okay. We are developing these features so that everyone can continue to enjoy Legends even more. In closing, this has been a lot of information, so thank you all for reading all the way to the end. Once again, we aim to implement the many features listed here towards the end of the year. Please be aware that in order to ensure that they can be presented to you at their highest quality, the plans are subject to change. Now, I imagine every year we get a quote-unquote massive update celebration. This is probably going to be in tandem with the massive update celebration we get this year, so that's when I would expect this. Further information will be shared as and when it will become available through future editions of Video and Stuff and messages from the management team, so please stay tuned. Legends is now in its 4th year. The management and development teams alike are continuing to strive to give you more to look forward to and be excited about than ever before. So, I think overall this is pretty good. The changes that they talked about are pretty positive, at least in my mind. Again, we can't really judge anything here too harshly yet. We don't have the solid information. We don't have the nitty-gritty specifics of how this is going to work. We can't experience it firsthand. So this is sort of like an initial impression from me. Again, the Legend, we'll just summarize everything that they talked about here and my thoughts on it. Legends Pass. The equipment slot clarification was very, very good. I think that's going to make me feel a lot better about buying this, but again, I don't think things like faster auto mode should be locked behind a pass. That should just be something that's implemented into the game. The PvP features, boost character thing, again, if they can improve diversity in the teams that I'm fighting against in PvP, that's an automatic W, but remains to be seen how the actual implementation goes, and also if it's only going to be tailored towards characters who have not been limit broken, like they say here. Leader slots sounds interesting. I'm actually really in favor of this, but I'm just really cautious because, or nervous or anxious or whatever you want to say, or whatever word you want to use about that, because I'm picturing, like, you know, Zenkai Red Gohan, and he's going to be able to get buffed by just more units now. So hopefully that's not why they decided to do this, but we'll see. Maybe Red Gohan just completely dies off because of this. Maybe the older characters are going to get boosted so much that characters like LF Red Gohan and 18 are no longer going to be viable with this implemented into the game. We'll see. And then ranking improvements, I mean, it's very general, not really much was said here. It looks pretty good. Can't really comment on that. Rematch feature to co-op is crazy good. Finally, we're getting that. It's been way too long. This is very general, but sounds good. And then this is obviously very good. So in closing, I think this is a very good management team newsletter. I'm pretty optimistic about it. Let me know down below what you guys think. What are your overall initial reactions to this? You excited, not excited? You wish they did this earlier? I mean, I wish they did this earlier, for like stuff like co-op rematch, right? But they are listening, it sounds like, so pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all in the next one.